everyone, and welcome to another edition of Kelson Education. Today we are continuing with our basics of mathematics, and we'll be talking about even numbers and odd numbers. These two numbers work hand in hand. They are sort of friends, or should I say they are enemies? Well, anyhow you like to see them. I'm sure after this class or lesson, you'll know whether to call them friends or enemies. But we'll also be considering the power of 2 as we consider these two numbers, even and odd numbers. Today we are going to know how powerful the number 2 is in mathematics. The number 2 is the number that is used to determine if a number is either even or odd. So I'm sure that after this lesson you know why we say 2 has a lot of power in mathematics. Okay, let's start then and list the numbers we learned from our previous class. We'll start by listing all the natural or counting numbers on the screen. But we know we can't write all of them because they are into infinity, so we'll write the first few numbers and then we'll consider these numbers and see if they're odd or even. So these are the first 10 natural numbers or counting numbers that we have here on the board. And then we are going to be considering these numbers, which of them is even and which of them is odd. Let's start by explaining what even numbers are. Even numbers are said to be numbers that can be divided by 2 without a remainder. As simple as that. Any number you divide by the number 2 and you don't have any remainder, or the answer you get is neither a fraction or a decimal number, then that number is said to be even. We'll be talking about fractions and decimal numbers in the tutorials to come, but when you talk about fractions, we are talking about things like that is a fraction, and or that is another fraction. Decimal numbers are or these are decimals and these are fractions. But if you divide a particular number by the number 2 and you don't get things like this, then it shows that they are even numbers. So to demonstrate, let's take the first number here, 1, and divide it by 2. The answer we get is sort of a decimal. Don't worry, we'll be talking about how to divide and multiply and changing the fractions to decimals in the future tutorials to come. But if you check out the division of 1 over 2, we're going to get 0.5, which is a decimal. So is it an even number? No. Okay, let's take the second number, which is 2. Oh yeah, 2 divided by 2 and we get a whole number, no remainder, making 2 an even number. So the power of 2 divides 2 and gives us an even number. Let's take the third number. Oh no, this won't work. 2 can't divide 3. So it's going to give us a remainder, a decimal form. Let's move to the fourth number, which is number 4. 2 here, 1, 2 into 4 twice, giving us a whole number, which is 2. If you work all these accordingly, divide each of the number from 1 to 10 from here, we are going to be getting the ones which are even. So there we go. You can see that these numbers are even. So from the numbers 1 to 10, we can have 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 to be even numbers. But did you notice the pattern? That the first number is not an even number, but the second is. In this sense, this is not an even number, but this is. The next is not, but the next is an even number. The next is not, and the next is an even number. So it moves in that sequence as even numbers as we have. It continues to infinity. So like from 10, 11 will not be an even number, but 12 will be. 13 will not be an even number, but 14 will be an even number. Then the numbers that are not even here, as you can see, 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Then what numbers are they? That is where the friends come in. They are odd numbers. So odd numbers are numbers which, when you divide by 2, you are either going to get a fraction or a decimal. So as we already calculated, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, continuing from 11 and 13, they are all odd numbers. I'm sure you do understand this clearly. So now we can tell the difference between even numbers and odd numbers. You can try this for as many numbers as you could, continuing from 11, 12, 13 to maybe 50 or 100, any number you like to end up with. And trust me, the much more you work on these numbers and understand the basic of mathematics, trust me, math is going to be fun and easy for you.